Good morning, everybody. Welcome to week number 2 of HRD 600, History and Philosophy of Adult Education. I hope you are finding your way around Brightspace, finding your way around our course page and our course resources, and you've made the adjustment from summer into fall and into a new graduate course. I realize that this is a new course for a lot of people, and this program is new. Take your time, even though we are plowing into the materials already. It does take a time, and there is a transition period. If you have any questions, something doesn't make sense to you, I am not as clear as I should have been in the materials, please let me know. I'm here to help. So what we're going to do over the next probably 10 minutes is to just do a very quick recap of week number 1, and then I'm going to talk about weeks number 2 and weeks number 3, but mostly weeks number 2, show you a couple of things that you might not have found, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so what you're seeing on the screen is really what you started with last week, and I wanted to reiterate, Module 1, if you come down, encompasses weeks 1, 2, and 3, and weeks 4. So each one of these, I've organized the course, each one of these weeks have enough similarities that they're classified under the umbrella of liberal education and early history. As we move forward to Module 2, 3, and 4, we progress from that. But that's what we're focusing in on this point. And last week there was a video, an introduction to liberal education, and we had our personal introductions and a whole bunch of information on educational philosophy as compared to theories. And, the way I've always looked at these two areas of philosophy versus the theories, a philosophy is kind of deep-held belief. It's something that's not as specific as a theory, but it's almost like the umbrella to a theory. So there's a tremendous amount. If you haven't had time to get into these areas, please, you still have time. We had, the personal introductions, and also this question, what is adult education? Now, there was no right or wrong with that. I responded to most everybody. I just want to reiterate, if you can get the initial post that you do in the weeks that we have a discussion forum, if you could get that done by Wednesday, the end of the day by Wednesday, it is not a hard and fast due date. The reason for that is that if you do it by Wednesday, then you have time to comment on other people's, at least 2 other students, and vice versa. They get to comment on yours. If you've had a really tough week and you don't get to your initial post till Saturday, chances are there's going to be very few options for other people to comment on your work. So that's really the idea between posting your initial post by Wednesday. Okay, we're going to go right to weeks 2 and 3. And as you can see in here, we have weeks 2 and 3, the liberal education. We will explore that a little more. There's a discussion forum, which is really in week number 3. Although if you get through the materials and you want to actually participate in the discussion forum, it's located here. Over the next 2 weeks, I'd like you to do a very simple quiz. There's only 5 points in this. It's not like I think you get 3 chances at it and there's 5 points. I'd be curious what you think of the quiz after you take it for the second or third time. Let me know. And I'm playing around with some new ideas this semester, trying a couple different things. So once again, this isn't a big thing. It's 5 points, but I'd like some feedback on that. And also, I don't know if you've had some examples or any time to explore this field study examples. This is an opportunity for you to actually take a look at a component of adult education. We'll have more time to that, but I'd thoroughly recommend you taking a look at here. So let's take a look at right here. I'm going to click on weeks 2 and 3.
So in here this is really where we get into the nuts and the bolts of what we will be doing over the next couple of weeks. It's a combination of work that you do independently. We also have an online discussion, which happens in week number 3. But the overarching question is, how is liberal or liberal arts education defined, and how does it influence adult education? You know, I play around with this idea in this course and other courses, the whole idea about liberal education, and I truly have found out that there's preconceived notions about what it is and what does it mean, both favorable and unfavorable. Some people, you mention a liberal education, and they roll their eyes and think it's a waste of time and a waste of money, while other people think that it is the foundation, the backbone to really a well-formed human being, well-formed adult. So that's what the discussion question really gets at that happens in week number 3. So these are, some of the related course outcomes. So if you're wondering, what do I do this week? Well, it is right here. Do in these next 2 weeks, week number 1. Number 2, watch the video clip. Read the electronic reserve articles. Now, I made sure that these are there. Unfortunately, I don't want to blame anybody, but the way that it's transferred over from Glickman Library into our course sometimes doesn't give the adequate titles that I wish that it was. So yeah, sometimes if there's a Knowles article that I'm asking you to read, you have to dig a little deeper and find out which one of the Knowles articles it is. So to give you an idea, we have these 2 authors here. So I did a search, and here is the first one. This is the first one that I'm asking you to read. You could read this first. This is second. So once again, all the information is included over here or here. Read the article, and I've mentioned it, and I want to reiterate it, that you are not being asked to read every word. I think as a graduate student, you are introduced to a lot of material, especially in a course like this. I recommend you skim it. You do a fast skim, and you can always refer back to it. But if you skim it, you can actually get the gist of what it's talking about. If the discussion post has to do with one of these articles, you can refer back to it. So these are the 2 articles. I'm going to go back. Read the articles, begin reading Lindemann's book. Now, a word of warning about Lindemann's book. I have found that some students absolutely love the meaning of adult education, and I am in that camp. But it was written in 1926, so it's written in a different way than authors write in 2021. It truly is considered one of the foundational books concerning adult education and adult learning. So this is a book that I've had on my shelf for many years. It's highlighted. I've used quotes from the book. You may not find it that you love the book because it's written in a different way, but it is a very important foundational book on the subject of adult education. So begin reading that book, continue reading Cameron's book, The Right to Write, and then participate next week, week number 3, in an online discussion, and then reflect your learning, reflect the ideas that we're studying this week, last week, and next week in your journal. So that's an ongoing thing. There's a couple of things, there's two more things in here that I should have added. One is a quiz, and I'll show you where that is located, but there's a quiz in the next 2 weeks. You could do it this week. I'd recommend you wait to next week. And also, I have scheduled a Zoom meeting. Let me switch gears here, come down here. Okay, it's right here. This is the announcement that I'm going to be sending out to everybody shortly. I have scheduled a short, and I mean short, It's hard to find a good time for everybody, but I've scheduled a short Zoom meeting for our class this week, September 8th, which is Wednesday at 8 p.m. So in the announcement, I will have the information, the actual link that you follow to get there. This is just a check-in. Bring your questions. It is not meant to be a comprehensive review of the course, but I will be there to answer questions. If we're online for 15 minutes or a half hour, that's fine. I try to hold these to a half hour. If we need weekly Zoom meetings, optional Zoom meetings, we can do it. If at any time you need some help from me, please reach out. I'm happy to help in any way possible. So once again, we have an optional Zoom meeting September 8th at 8 p.m. This meeting will be recorded, and I will post the recording of the meeting either that night, Wednesday night, or Thursday morning. So let me go back to Brightspace. That is it. That is really what we're studying. Now, I do want to just mention to everybody, sometimes the materials I put out at the beginning of the course there's just too much. So it might be worthwhile for everybody to take a look at the course navigation and orientation again, and keep on referring to this as we go through the semester. So, table of contents, syllabus and getting started. So in here, there's a tremendous amount of information, including how do you navigate the course, modules, pacing, what happens Sunday or Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. But down here, there's some really important navigational tips. And one is a short video on the assessment tool, and another one is a short video explaining how to use the grade tool. So I haven't graded anything yet because quite frankly, in the first week and the first discussions, I almost give everybody the top mark. So they're going to get a 3, which is the top mark. So even though I haven't posted anything yet, it's not a bad practice to just get used to going to the grades and checking them. If you see anything funky in there that doesn't make sense, you please let me know. So that is about it from me, and I will leave this up on the screen. I'm going to go back to weeks 2 and 3. So once again, hopefully you have a great week. If you can join for a Zoom meeting on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, that would be great. If you don't make it, don't worry about it. I will record it. So I hope you're having a nice Labor Day, and you have a good, nice, long Labor Day weekend or a Labor Day tomorrow. And we'll see everybody online. Shoot me an email. If you want to Zoom, you want to talk online, telephone, you let me know. See everybody.